on the straight. The hard tyres went off and he pitted on lap 17, got Alonso but couldn't get Yuki Tsunoda. So 0.3 of a second that was the margin between Sergio Perez and Yuki Tsunoda. So that tells you everything you need to know, doesn't it, about the challenge that's ahead for Sergio Perez when he gets beaten by Yuki Tsunoda in an RB. And then that's not, to say that it was an equal fight. Obviously, Yuki started further up the grid than Checo. That's what happens when qualifying doesn't go your way. Shall we go? Anything else on Red Bull? No, I mean, apart from to say congratulations to them, and they absolutely deserve it. What will happen with the constructors, we will see. McLaren are, oh, there you are, JD. I was looking. Did you see me looking all the way for you? But yeah, we'll see what happens with the constructors. There is the race winner. Should we do them next? George Russell, and it's all right. You party away, everybody.
Sorry, we're like shouting.
I like your stop bag. That's excellent.
Oh, to be fair, that's hers, but I don't take credit for it.
Yes, that's all right. Sorry, I don't know why I'm saying hello, but I like the jackets. Are these for? Oh, you've got a Supermax. You got a Supermax T-shirt.
T-shirt celebrating. Hello, how are you, mate?
Well, I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, good, really good. The mood in the camp is obviously unbelievable. He got it done.
With 2 races to go.
I know.
And it's 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, you gonna be partying tonight? Or?
Well, I might do. I've got a flight at 9 a.m.
Oh, where you going? Where you going to?
Where am I going to?
Yeah.
London, a small conurbation in the southeast of England.
we fly back to London tomorrow.
Yeah,
too.
right.
Except for her, she's going to Qatar, aren't you? Got a job there.
Yeah, I'm going to Qatar.
Sorry?
I'm going to Qatar.
Okay.
Not actually for F1 though, but the next race obviously in Qatar.
I work for a company called Sky.
Yes.
I'm having somebody in my ear telling me
She does what you do.
that you're Olivia.
Yes, I am.
We haven't met despite working for the same company. Anyway, nice to meet you.
But it is lovely to meet you too.
Are you going to be down Osterley next?
Yeah, I am going to be down. When am I next down at Osterley? If I'm down there, I'll let you know. Might see you there.
Okay, cool. All right.
Lovely to meet you.
All right, Olivia, Jeremy, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I know them. It's Olivia and Jeremy. Anyway, all right, thank you very much. Have I embarrassed you? No, okay, all right, good. Welcome to the Notebook, guys. Right, let's do Mercedes. Come on. Have you still got George? Yeah, you still got eyes on George. So yeah, Lewis Hamilton second, George Russell first. As I say, 3rd win on the road for George Russell, but 2nd win that has been not the one that's been taken away from them, obviously, by being disqualified from Brazil. So 3rd win on the road for George, but 2nd win actually. So with 2 wins for Lewis and 2 wins for George, that makes it 4 wins. But still, Mercedes just 4th in the Constructors' Championship. But a good start for George Russell, held the lead and fended off Charles Leclerc on lap 5, and that was really the crucial moment of the race for George Russell. That meant A, that he obviously kept the lead, and B, that Leclerc cooked his tyres and would not be a challenge for George Russell or pretty much anyone else in the race for the rest of the afternoon. So that was the crucial moment, and from then he just coasted home, really. Lewis Hamilton pitted twice. Well, they both pitted twice. Lewis had to remove, or rather the mechanics had to remove some debris in the front brake duct. Was very quick after that. Past Max Verstappen to P2. It was extremely quick, Lewis Hamilton. Russell pitted again on lap 33. Lewis hunted George as George managed his tyre, but George was effectively told you might want to pick up the pace at this point, but didn't. Well, no, he did. Well, he didn't have to, because Lewis grained up his front right tyre and dropped off, and that was it. The challenge was over, but make no mistake about it, Lewis was hunting down George and wanted to steal the win off his teammate, but as I say, he cooked his front tyre and didn't manage to do it. So we go on to the next race, and we'll see where Mercedes are going to the end of the season. This is the thing that's going to be fascinating, isn't it? Where is everybody going into next year? Are they going to be in a position to win and everything? Hello, George. Well done today. But it's not that he feels that he should have been eased back past Carlos Sainz, but it's more that he feels that he wasn't treated particularly well in some way. I don't really understand why. Anyway, what it was that it was Leclerc 4th and Sainz 3rd. And the point is, oh, there's the cape. There you go. You got the cape. Well done. Well spotted, JD. The point was that Sainz didn't get a penalty for crossing the line on the way into the pit lane, because I don't know whether the new race director, Rui Marquez, who this is his first race, didn't know that rule. I'm sure he does. But Vasseur explained it as this, that he treated it as a track limits infraction, not contravening any rule or any race director's note. Okay, fine. Well, so that means that, I guess, you know, that's all right then. And Carlos Sainz will say, well, thank you very much. Means that he was on the podium and not Charles Leclerc. Superb start from Leclerc, up from P4 to P2. Challenged George Russell, as I say, for the lead, but didn't manage to stay there because he cooked his tyres. It was then Sainz dropped down to third, closed up on Russell. Great race, but as I say, cooked the tyres, dropped back. Sainz eased past and contradicted. Sainz later wanted to contradict the Ferrari strategy. Was going to come in, but they weren't ready for him, so he said stay out, which is good because Esteban Ocon got the wrong end of that particular issue for Alpine, which I'll tell you about in a bit. Yeah, Leclerc ran P2. Sainz, wake up guys, come on. But Leclerc very annoyed at the end. But hey, they have closed the gap on McLaren in the constructors, and it's now 24 points with 2 races to go. So nervous times, but it could have been a lot worse for McLaren. 24 points. I think they'll take that going into the last couple of races in the Middle East, because that's not as bad as it could have been. Let's have a look at McLaren, then we'll take a break, because Lando Norris 6th place and fastest lap today, and Oscar Piastri 7th. Pants, I think, is the word. That's not my word. I'm not being rude. I'm quoting Lando Norris, who called it a pants race today. Look, this circuit is one of the worst for McLaren's car. They also had to go from what the optimum rear wing was to a really low downforce one, as everybody kind of went lower and lower and lower and skinnier and skinnier and skinnier on the rear wings. They realized, McLaren, they just had to go with everybody. It was kind of a standoff with everyone. Whereas they all had to go lower on the rear wings. It went even further away from McLaren in terms of their ultimate ability to actually produce or field a quick racing car, and it just got worse and worse and worse. And that means they were only 6th and 7th. And they might be 1st and 2nd when we get to Qatar next week, such as this weird world of Formula One, when a circuit that really suits their car. But we will see. It wasn't great today. Lando lost too much time behind Gasly early on, damaged his tyres, pitted on lap 10 with Charles Leclerc. Oscar Piastri got a pretty harsh 5-second penalty for seemingly not being in the position that they wanted him to be in the pit box. Zach Brown called it harsh, and I think everybody else who observed it would agree with him. But he pitted on lap 11, did Oscar. Lando Norris toiled behind Lewis Hamilton and Oscar behind Yuki. Lando pitted for the fastest lap at the end and got it. Oscar finished 7 seconds behind, and Lando was able to use some extreme diff settings not to grain his second set of tyres, where Oscar struggled a bit. So Lando on the championship saying that we were never really... What was his quote? I wrote it down here. We weren't ready to fight in the Drivers' Championship. So McLaren weren't really ready. Lando wasn't really ready. But as I say, it bodes well for next year, because the big question is, will he be ready, old Lando Norris, next year to fight for the championship with the experience he's had this year? Well, something to think about. But I will end part 1 with a tribute, if I can, to a man who was a fan of McLaren and a fan of Formula One, and loved his F1, and the feeling was mutual. And that was Trevor Sorbie, the hairdresser. I don't know if you know this, and we did a feature with him when I worked for The Other Side back about 20 years ago now. But Trevor Sorbie was a massive F1 fan. He used to roast a leg of lamb, watch the Grand Prix, and then have a nap on his sofa. At least that's what he told us in the feature we did with him. And he passed away last week, a week and a half ago, from cancer. And the other thing Trevor Sorbie did, which was amazing, true measure of the man, is that he started a charity, or worked to establish a charity called My New Hair, where he would make hair pieces for women who were cancer sufferers and lost their hair. Just wanted to say our condolences and our best wishes to Trevor's family and friends, because he passed away last week. A great friend of McLaren, friend of Formula One as well, no longer with us. The great hairdresser and stylist Trevor Sorbie, and business owner, of course. You can go to Trevor Sorbie, of course, salons all over the UK. Right, with our best wishes, Trevor Sorbie's family and friends, we'll say we'll take a break, and more Notebook in a bit. Las Vegas, Nevada, and we are digesting the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Plenty of other teams to talk about, and about 7 minutes to do it. So let's crack on, shall we, with a story of no radio for Lance Stroll. And if we have his helmet over here, I don't know whether the transmission didn't work or anything like that. I'm sure the helmet was fine, but Lance didn't have radio for the whole of the race, and that was a bit of a problem when you consider that he started down the grid and needed to get back. No radio, I was just saying, for Lance, yes. But Fernando Alonso was 11th, Lance Stroll 15th, and so they had to communicate with Lance the old way with the pit board as to tell him when to come in and change various buttons that they needed him to change. So well done, Lance, for dealing with that. Fernando went for early gains with a soft tyre start, worked nicely actually, was up to P14, P13, then pitted onto the hard and did 2 stops after that, so 3 in total. Lance pitted on lap 10 with a bit of a slow stop. Fernando pitted again, as I say, with a 2 stop. Fernando ran P10, held off Sergio Perez until lap 45 and finished 6 seconds off a point, did Fernando. So bad luck, Aston. It almost worked, but for 6 seconds. But yeah, well done, as I say, for Lance finishing P15 and with no radio in his car. Alpine, now we have some explanations here, and that is that Gasly was a DNF with some cylinders going away. Here is Alex Albon keeping his chin up. You're going to hear the phrase keeping his chin up from now until, where are we going next?
Qatar, I think.
You're going to finish the race in Qatar.
Will you be there too?
Will I be there? Yes, I'm even going to be wearing this chestnut copper-coloured jacket.
You're going to be sweating like crazy. If you're going to be wearing that in Qatar, you're going to be dehydrated.
Do we know how hot it is there? Is it going to be like last year?
I don't know. I'm not much of a weather guy. That's it. Bye-bye.
Not much of a weather guy, Alex Albon. Have we got a graphic saying not much of a weather guy? You will finish the Qatar Grand Prix, my son. Still hasn't seen the checkered flag since Azerbaijan. And I know, I'll get onto it in a minute. Right, well, actually, I'll get onto it now. Alex Albon was a DNF. Franco Colapinto, 14th. Another frustrating race for Alex Albon. Ran as high as 9th, but told to back off as the power unit overheated, possibly because of some debris in the radiators, and then was told to retire the car. So, as I say, still no finish for Azerbaijan, but has to keep his chin up because if he doesn't, then no one else is going to for him. So you can see his sense of humour is still intact. Franco Colapinto, incredible rebuild by the mechanics at Williams. Well done to them because it was a real mess after qualifying, of course, with the crash. Ran okay, pitted on lap 17 and again around lap 33. Brought the car home, P14. What a relief for him. Right, the story with Alpine is that Gasly was a DNF because some cylinders started to go off and then the engine pretty much blew. Ocon, it was a miscommunication between, here is Franco Colapinto. Franco, you're right. It was a miscommunication between the pits and on the engineers and the mechanics. So when Ocon came into the garage, the mechanics hadn't been told and weren't out in the pit. So that's why Ocon was like, whoa, I'm coming down here and where are my pit crew? Bit odd. So he went through, wasted 11 seconds of race time, and then had to come by and pit again when the pit crew were told that Esteban Ocon is coming in. So that really explains that. He finished 17th and had to pit for soft tyres at the end on lap 46 because his hard tyres were gone. So a new set of softs were the only tyres that he had left. So yeah, a very disappointing race, and they have lost 6th in the Constructors' Championship, have Alpine. Haas have nicked it back on them with a great job from Nico Hülkenberg today for them. Right, RB, well done Yuki Tsunoda, because that's 2 points scored with a hard-earned 9th place. Not so much for Liam Lawson's 16th. They pitted around about with everybody else, more or less they did. And here's Paul Ripke. Good work with the what's next stuff, Paul. Yeah, excellent stuff. Valtteri Bottas' mate, of course. Yuki ran really well, P7 ahead of Oscar Piastri. Liam not happy with the car at any point really today. Yuki pitted again on lap 30. Liam hit Esteban Ocon but escaped a penalty for it, but Ocon said, I've been hit by somebody, and it turned out to be Liam Lawson. The tyres were gone. He pitted again on lap 39, and yeah, Hülkenberg eventually stole 8th place off Yuki Tsunoda. So it's now 50 points. Haas are back into 5th with 50 points. Alpine have 49 and RB have 46. So even though RB and Haas scored points today and Alpine didn't, RB stay third of those three in that constructors battle. Let's do Sauber, just to the left of you here, JD. Valtteri Bottas 18th, Zhou Guanyu 13th. Valtteri Bottas was a hard tyre starter. Zhou ran P6 through the stops, but came in again of course, for his pit stops. Stopped again on lap 35. Valtteri Bottas stopped again on lap 36 and trailed home last. But Zhou Guanyu deserves a pat on the back because it was the best race, best weekend really for him for absolutely ages, and came in 13th place while Valtteri just there trailed home in 18th. Haas. And I was just saying, Valtteri, I said yesterday, I love the charity donations for these, for the charity.
It is supporting families that has been affected by a sudden job loss.
It's perfect.
And actually it's only available for 20 more hours.
Okay, from where?
You can check the link on my X or from my Instagram.
Okay,
20
excellent.
hours, that's it.
But they're not sold out yet. I want to get one.
We are taking pre-orders,
Oh, I see.
and then we know how many people want it, and then we ship them.
Pre-orders, everybody. That's how they work. I always wondered.
People in
Good.
in
Okay,
need.
let's do that. Everybody do that because I love it. It's a great cause and everything, and it's beautiful. And we will see you soon. Sorry about being last today.
Thank you, that's fine.
It's okay. I know it's fine because nothing worse can happen than this season.
What's next?
Exactly.
Bye-bye.
Exactly. Bye-bye. Right. Why did I say that? I said that because even though it sounded a really, really awful thing to say, because I knew he'd take it in the you know, this is an awful car in the spirit it was meant. Right. That's Sauber. Kevin Magnussen 12th, Nico Hülkenberg 8th. Great drive from Nico Hülkenberg. Bad start from Kevin Magnussen, down 3 places to P15. Hülkenberg pitted on lap 15 and again on Magnussen, and again on lap 33. Magnussen stopped around. One stopped and finished 6/10 behind Fernando Alonso. Haas are back into 6th in the constructors, so well done to them. As I said, they're 50, Alpine are 49, and RB are 46. Right, that is it. The Qatar Grand Prix from Losail Circuit in Doha is next on the 29th, 30th of November, and the 1st of December. That's next week, and we will say goodbye, Las Vegas. Thanks again for a terrific weekend, and we will say congratulations to Red Bull Racing and to Max Verstappen joining the ranks of the greats and being if he's not already a great, being a 4-time world champion. Max, Super Max. We'll see you in Qatar in a week's time. Bye-bye.